Loki is absolutely fantastic, and not necessarily from like, oh, you're gonna get to infinite, it's gonna crush guys, it's super overpowered. Not necessarily that. First of all, first impressions, it seems like it's legit. It can legit win games. I think the power spike's crazy, especially when you have Quinjet on the board. Like, you're gonna see some highlights later that are completely wild. So its power is there, okay? But it's fun as hell. I actually had so much fun playing Loki. This card nails the lore of what Loki is. It nails the flavor of what this card should be. I think this is probably one of the best Season Pass cards they've ever released, not from just like a meta standpoint or from a competitive standpoint, but rather like it's just exactly what I think a Season Pass card should be. It's good, it can win games, but it's a ton of fun and it adds something really unique to the game, okay? This card gets an A+ rating for me. I like it. I want to say 5 stars simply based on my experience tonight in terms of having fun with it. It won games. I'm going to show you a couple decks here that I was experimenting with. Like, the competitive edge of it, I think we're going to need some more time to figure out some decks. But, like, seriously, from a Season Pass standpoint, if you're buying a Season Pass anyways, this card is fun. It's fun, and I think it might actually be good too. But it's complicated. I think designing decks around it are kind of hard. And, we talked about it on the Snapchat, like Agatha. Now, this is the meme, so don't like go like trying to get them in with this deck here. But I did have a net positive cube rate with this. We even 8 cubed someone. I'll show you the highlight later. It was Loki all along, and it's funny because like I was like, all right, what do we do here if we want to try and do something fun with like Agatha? Now, the reason why you would use Agatha is because it starts in your hand, so it's an additional card. So if you can generate some like value with like some card draw and stuff like that, and just, you draw Loki early, it's an extra card, but like it was kind of memey because it's like, well, Agatha's 616 and like 614, sorry, and you want to use her if you can. So it had like these weird times where I wanted to include wave because you can wave Agatha out, then play your Loki or whatever, right? It was kind of cool. It was kind of fun. It was way better than I expected, but still Agatha and kind of bad at the same time. We even experimented with like Quicksilver and like different style decks, but they were terrible. This is kind of what we ended up landing on in early testing. Still though, super rough. Don't actually play this one. It's just I wanted to show you this. I think the deck that really kind of stands out is these hand-sized decks. I mean, this is the most obvious deck, I think. Very clearly, Loki's going to work with hand sizes, right? We even tried to experiment with like Maria Hill, which is an option. Cable's an option. Like if you don't have Mirage, you can use Cable. You can use Maria Hill. Like these are all options, of course. But what I figured out was, I thought Crystal was good because Crystal, yes, you're adding to their hand, but Crystal works well with Devil Dinosaur as the second win line. Crystal helps you get the Loki for turn 4, and you have a pretty large hand with Crystal. So I think Crystal works with Loki because like you just want that extra value, right? And I love the idea that you can play Loki, and something that like we had not really spoken about was you can play Loki and then draw into a Quinjet, right? You can still draw into your deck after you play Loki. It's the cards you lose along the way that can, like, whatever, like, you lose Mirage, you lose Sentinels, you lose a Kitty Pryde. I was sacrificing on purpose on times because I'm like, hey, I want that extra card for Loki, like, right? Otherwise, if you have Angela on the board, you can play Kitty, play Loki on turn 4 with Kitty Pryde, and then Kitty comes back to your hand after the effect happens, so you can continue playing Kitty because everything's so cheap, like, you're able to just dump your hand out, right? The card is just, it's fun. It's really fun and it's powerful. The gameplay examples showcase how like the extra energy you're getting, like one cost reduced here, one cost reduced there, and like you're able to slap so much power on the board. Like I'm actually excited about Loki. I want to play more Loki, not just because it's going to get me an infinite or whatever, but because it's just fun. And I'm guys, I think this is getting a top. This is 2 thumbs up from Alex here. Because I think this card is actually legit. It's fun. I think it's a great Season Pass card. I've been saying the same thing over and over again. I like it. And, you know, I tried to experiment with another deck too. I didn't like this one. I'll show you anyway, just in case you were wondering. I tried to do this idea of like waving Sarah out and Loki on turn 5 to see if like, okay, like is playing Loki super late still okay? But I think it was too combo centric. So this was just an example of like an experiment. Again, first night, this didn't quite work, but I do think there's a world where you can get Sarah out early and then Loki on turn 5. So if you go wave turn 4 Sarah, turn 5 Loki, you have this turn 6 that's wild, especially if Quinjet's on the board. The problem is how big's your hand to take advantage of that. I think there's a really combo-centric deck that works there, but this is not it yet. We're not quite there yet. Ultimately, I think this is the best starting point. If you're looking for a deck, you bought Loki, you want a deck to play and just get started with, I think this one makes the most sense. I think a lot of people were playing decks similar to this as well. If you don't have Mirage or whatever, again, you have Maria Hill, you have Cable, which you definitely have as well. There's lots of standard ways to play this deck. So ultimately, 2 thumbs up. I like the card. I think it's worth buying. I think it's worth getting. And check out these gameplay highlights that are recorded live on Twitch TV. I'd love if you join us on Twitch. I have a link in the description and in the comments section down below. Hit the like button if you like to support the series. And I hope you enjoy these gameplay highlights. Nova Roma. That's just pure value with our deck. You love to... Oh, Nova Roma into the Loki. This is beautiful. Do I snap? I snap. Gotta snap here. Oh, we get so many like Sentinel. I got options. Got Jotunheim over here. I think we get rid of the kitty. I think we just straight up Loki here. That sucks. Okay, we got some really... Hopefully they don't have Luke Cage here. Oh my god, did we just get a bot deck? No one was prepared to get a bot deck. No one thought of that. No one said, "Hey Alex, what if just throwing it out there, what if you pull a bot deck? You know, what if your opponent is literally a bot? What happens then, Alex? What happens then?" Well, I guess you play Nakia. They're going hard mid, eh? Look at this. They're so committed to Jotunheim. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Why wouldn't you do that? I feel you. Why wouldn't you do that? Do I actually close this out with Hellcow and Killmonger? He's about to play Luke Cage. This whole game doesn't make sense. He Orca's left. Oh yeah, look at this Okoye gameplay. This has got to be the shittiest deck I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe I just low-keyed this. This is unbelievable. Oh my god. Oh my. I still beat him. This is awful. No one ever thought Loki might actually drop in value because you just grab bot decks. Oh my god.
I am Iron Man.
I don't even know what to make of this. So, it's worth noting that if you're playing Loki, you just might pull a bot list with absolute filth in it. So, that's a thing that's worth considering whether or not you want to get Loki. I mean, I guess you get the discount. I think we give up Kitty Pryde here. We got Loki, which is exactly what we want. We got Loki. We can play Kitty here, but... Oh my gosh. Of course! It's Dead Space into Superflow. Bro, I don't even care. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. You're snapping a location? It's fine. This collector's gonna be massive. Right off the hop. That's a little unfortunate. Do I let him know what's up right off the bat? I figured he was going to have Mystique eventually. It's Ronin. He has Master Mold. Attack here. Rock Slide. Wow. They get casseroled by Loki? Let's go! So we have nothing to play here. So we don't... This is going to happen too, right? So it's okay, because if we don't draw Quinjet, we don't draw Collector, it's not that big a deal. Collector, naturally, we want on turn 2. But the reason why this deck is designed as it is because hopefully she just plays down the Loki. Now we could potentially draw into Wave. If we draw into Wave, then she plays the Wave and she plays herself after. You turn 5 Loki and then Zoo. But it's like, it's only 1 power. So it's like, is Loki even better than a Sarah at that point, right? So we did draw the Wave, but it's ultimately Loki that gets picked. So that's like the riskier run with Agatha. And now we're going to have a basically full hand of cards, all of which are, this is going to be sorry. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. So this is pretty good. This is pretty good. We actually pull Sarah, which is kind of wild. Sarah and Quinjet. I think we attack this like this. I think this makes the most sense. Like, if you think about how much pressure this is, oh, it's null. That's a terrible 6-drop. But he's going to be scared that I have a free 6-drop, right? So that's insane. I can also beast him. I can Jeff Beast. I think I do Jeff Beast here. I don't think we play Sarah here. I think it's Jeff, Collector, Beast, Sentinel. We don't even need to Skillmonger. It doesn't even matter. I think we Skillmonger anyway. This is pretty disgusting. Probably should have held Killmonger for Kitty Pryde. I think we're at an edge. Oh my god, look at this. We can actually Chavez and still play like 4 cards. Like, we get Chavez here and still play cards while still ramping up Collector. That's actually kind of insane. This is insane. This is I think this is the most insane hand I've ever had in Marvel Snap. I think this is crazy. This is completely insane. He's going to attack mid. We put 9 power. I think it's null Quinjet into the extra 3 points in Kunlun. This is not a lot of power. No. I think we attack these 2. We play null for the memes. Null would have been +1 power here. I think he's going to try and reach in Xandar. This is 8 cubes. This is Mysterio Hitmonkey. Mysterio Hitmonkey, what's her name? Kitty Pryde. So we always maintain the initiative here. Let's see if we reach above them. So Quinjet dies. There's the Mysterios. So we outreach mid. Real Mysterio a factor, actually. Let's go. That's an 8-cube casserole win. 8 cubes casserole win there. With an Agatha deck. It's hard to forget. It's so easy to forget that this deck started as an Agatha deck.